Hi friends, in this video we are going to make 48 sentences using one single verb. Here I have used 5 verbs. I'm going to use 5 verbs in this video, and 48 into 5 makes you 240 sentences. By the time you practice these 240 sentences, you would have gained a little confidence. You'll be knowing how to pronounce certain words, how to speak in the neutral accent, and of course it will open your vocal cords and words will come out freely when you keep repeating after what I say in these videos. Let's start with the help. Let's make a sentence with the word help. They help the poor. Let's make 48 sentences. They help the poor. They don't help the poor. Do they help the poor? Don't they help the poor? They helped the poor. They didn't help the poor. Did they help the poor? Didn't they help the poor? They will help the poor. They won't help the poor. Will they help the poor? Won't they help the poor? They are helping the poor. They aren't helping the poor. Are they helping the poor? Aren't they helping the poor? They were helping the poor. They weren't helping the poor. Were they helping the poor? Weren't they helping the poor? They will be helping the poor. They won't be helping the poor. Will they be helping the poor? Won't they be helping the poor? They have helped the poor. They haven't helped the poor. Have they helped the poor? Haven't they helped the poor? They had helped the poor. They hadn't helped the poor. Had they helped the poor? Hadn't they helped the poor? They will have helped the poor. They won't have helped the poor. Will they have helped the poor? Won't they have helped the poor? They have been helping the poor. They haven't been helping the poor. Have they been helping the poor? Haven't they been helping the poor? They had been helping the poor. They hadn't been helping the poor. Had they been helping the poor? Hadn't they been helping the poor? They will have been helping the poor. They won't have been helping the poor. Will they have been helping the poor? Won't they have been helping the poor? Now we have made 48 sentences. Let's go to the next verb. Improve. The sentence is, kids improve in studies. Let's make 48 sentences. Kids improve in studies. Kids don't improve in studies. Do kids improve in studies? Don't kids improve in studies? Kids improved in studies. Kids didn't improve in studies. Did kids improve in studies? Didn't kids improve in studies? Kids will improve in studies. Kids won't improve in studies. Will kids improve in studies? Won't kids improve in studies? Kids are improving in studies. Kids aren't improving in studies. Are kids improving in studies? Aren't kids improving in studies? Kids were improving in studies. Kids weren't improving in studies. Were kids improving in studies? Weren't kids improving in studies? Kids have improved in Kids will be improving in studies. Kids won't be improving in studies. Will kids be improving in studies? Won't kids be improving in studies? Kids have improved in studies. Kids haven't improved in studies. Have kids improved in studies? Haven't kids improved in studies? Kids had improved in studies. Kids hadn't improved in studies. Had kids improved in studies? Hadn't kids improved in studies? Kids will improve in studies. Kids will have improved in studies. Kids won't have improved in studies. Will kids have improved in studies? Won't kids have improved in studies? Kids have been improving in studies. Kids haven't been improving in studies. Have kids been improving in studies? Haven't kids been improving in studies? Kids had been improving in studies. Kids hadn't been improving in studies. Had kids been improving in studies? Hadn't kids been improving in studies? Kids will have been improving in studies. Kids won't have been improving in studies. Will kids have been improving in studies? Won't kids have been improving in studies? Let's go to the next one. The next one is intend. Okay. Let's make a sentence out of this word intend. He intends to marry. He doesn't intend to marry. Does he intend to marry? Doesn't he intend to marry? He intended to marry. He didn't intend to marry. Did he intend to marry? Didn't he intend to marry? He will intend to marry. He won't intend to marry. Will he intend to marry? Won't he intend to marry? He is intending to marry. He isn't intending to marry. Is he intending to marry? Isn't he intending to marry? He was intending to marry. He wasn't intending to marry. Was he intending to marry? Wasn't he intending to marry? He will be intending to marry. He won't be intending to marry. Will he be intending to marry? Won't he be intending to marry? He has intended to marry. He hasn't intended to marry. Has he intended to marry? Hasn't he intended to marry? He had intended to marry. He hadn't intended to marry. Had he intended to marry? Hadn't he intended to marry? He will have intended to marry. He won't have intended to marry. Will he have intended to marry? Won't he have intended to marry? He has been intending to marry. He hasn't been intending to marry. Has he been intending to marry? Hasn't he been intending to marry? He had been intending to marry. He hadn't been intending to marry. Had he been intending to marry? Hadn't he been intending to marry? He will have been intending to marry. He won't have been intending to marry. Will he have been intending to marry? Won't he have been intending to marry? Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is injure. I-N-G-U-R-E. I-N-J-U-R-E. Injure. Okay, let's make a sentence out of that. She injures others. She doesn't injure others. Does she injure others? Doesn't she injure others? She injured others. She didn't injure others. Did she injure others? Didn't she injure others? She will injure others. She won't injure others. Will she injure others? Won't she injure others? She is injuring others. She isn't injuring others. Is she injuring others? Isn't she injuring others? She was injuring others. She wasn't injuring others. Was she injuring others? Wasn't she injuring others? She will be injuring others. She won't be injuring others. Will she be injuring others? Won't she be injuring others? She has injured others. She hasn't injured others. Has she injured others? Hasn't she injured others? She had injured others. She hadn't injured others. Had she injured others? Hadn't she injured others? She will have injured others. She won't have injured others. Will she have injured others? Won't she have injured others? She has been injuring others. She hasn't been injuring others. Will she have, has she been injuring others? Hasn't she been injuring others? She had been injuring others. She hadn't been injuring others. Had she been injuring others? Hadn't she been injuring others? She will have been injuring others. She won't have been injuring others. Will she have been injuring others? Won't she have been injuring others? The last one is inquire. A sentence for this is, I inquire about cases. Let's make 48 sentences. I inquire about cases. I don't inquire about cases. Do you inquire about cases? Don't you inquire about cases? I inquired about cases. I didn't inquire about cases. Did you inquire about cases? Didn't you inquire about cases? I will inquire about cases. I won't inquire about cases. Will you inquire about cases? Won't you inquire about cases? I am inquiring about cases. I amn't inquiring about cases. Are you inquiring about cases? Aren't you inquiring about cases? I was inquiring about cases. I wasn't inquiring about cases. Were you inquiring about cases? Weren't you inquiring about cases? I will be inquiring about cases. I won't be inquiring about cases. Will you be inquiring about cases? Won't you be inquiring about cases? I have inquired about cases. I haven't inquired about cases. Have you inquired about cases? Haven't you inquired about cases? I had inquired about cases. I hadn't inquired about cases. Had you inquired about cases? Hadn't you inquired about cases? I will have inquired about cases. I won't have inquired about cases. Will you have inquired about cases? Won't you have inquired about cases? I have been inquiring about cases. I haven't been inquiring about cases. Have you been inquiring about cases? Haven't you been inquiring about cases? I had been inquiring about cases. I hadn't been inquiring about cases. Had you been inquiring about cases? Hadn't you been inquiring about cases? I will have been inquiring about cases. I won't have been inquiring about cases. Will you have been inquiring about cases? Won't you have been inquiring about cases? These 240 sentences ends over here. In my next video, I'm going to add 5 more. verbs, and we are going to practice 240 sentences more. Friends, I want you to keep practicing. It's not going to happen within a day or two, or for a week, or for a month, or 2 months, or 3 months. It requires constant practice and much exposure to English. Only then you will be able to learn fluent English fast. How will you learn fluent English fast? You have to practice along with me. Once I tell the sentence, you just have to repeat it with me, and then you can improve by practice. Friends, you may subscribe to my channel in YouTube. To subscribe, please press here. Follow me on Twitter by clicking here. Want to follow me on Facebook? Click here to like my page.